The night was colder than usual, one of those bone-deep chills that crept beneath the skin and made even the city lights look lonely. A black SUV rolled to a quiet stop at a red light, and inside it sat a man who seemed to have everything. Expensive suit, polished shoes, the calm presence of someone who made big decisions daily. But tonight, his mind wasn't on business meetings or profit charts, it was on the tiny voice from the back seat. "Daddy," the little girl whispered, tugging at her seatbelt. "Her baby is freezing." At first, he didn't understand what she meant. Then he turned his head, following her trembling finger toward the sidewalk. There, under the flickering streetlight, sat a young woman clutching a baby wrapped in a torn blanket, her shoulders shaking in the wind. For a second, the man thought he was imagining it. But when the woman raised her head, the city's noise faded into silence. Something inside him, something long buried beneath boardrooms and responsibilities, stirred to life. "Daddy, do something," the little girl said again, her eyes shining with tears. And just like that, his world began to change. He was Ethan Cole, the name people whispered in business magazines, the CEO who turned failing companies into empires. But beyond the money, beyond the polished speeches, there was a man who carried quiet scars. His wife had passed away 3 years ago, leaving him with a daughter and an emptiness he buried beneath endless work. That night, though, work didn't matter. He stepped out of the car, the cold wind biting his face as he approached the woman. She looked up, startled, clutching her baby closer. "Ma'am," Ethan said gently, kneeling beside her. "Please, let me help you." She shook her head. "We're fine," she whispered, even though her lips were turning blue. But her baby let out a weak cry, a sound so small and desperate that even the city seemed to pause. Ethan didn't wait another second. He took off his coat, wrapping it around the baby as his daughter watched from the car, tears streaming down her cheeks. Within minutes, he had them both inside his SUV. The heat filled the space, and the woman sat there, shivering but silent, her eyes darting between Ethan and his little girl. "I'm Ethan," he said softly. "And this is my daughter, Lily. What's your name?" "Grace," she replied after a pause. "And this is Noah." Lily leaned forward, peeking at the baby. "He's cute," she said with a small smile. Grace managed a weak smile in return, but her eyes glistened with exhaustion and fear. Ethan drove them to the nearest emergency clinic, waiting outside the examination room while the doctor checked on them. Hours later, the doctor told him the truth: Grace hadn't eaten properly in days, and the baby was severely undernourished. They were lucky to have made it through the night. As Grace slept in the hospital bed, Ethan stood beside the window, his mind racing. He had money, power, and influence, but in that moment, none of it mattered more than the fragile woman and baby he'd just met. He looked at his sleeping daughter, her tiny hand clutching his sleeve. "You did the right thing, sweetheart," he whispered. "You saved them." That night, something shifted deep inside him. For the first time in years, Ethan felt like he'd done something truly good. The next morning, Grace woke up to the smell of breakfast. A tray of food sat beside her, and through the open door, she saw Lily sitting on her father's lap, giggling over a juice box. The sight made Grace's eyes fill again, tears of confusion, gratitude, and disbelief. When Ethan noticed her awake, he stood and smiled softly. "Morning. How are you feeling?" She hesitated. "Better. But I can't stay here. We'll find somewhere to go." He frowned. "Where?" Grace looked down, silent. She didn't have an answer. Ethan sighed and rubbed the back of his neck. "Look. I don't usually do this, but you and your son need a safe place. I have a guest house on my property, it's warm, private, and it's yours until you can get back on your feet." Grace's lips parted in shock. "I can't accept that. You don't even know me." Lily ran up then, smiling. "But we like you. And your baby smiles when I make faces." Grace's resistance broke. For the first time in months, she laughed, a small, trembling laugh that carried both pain and hope. Weeks passed. The guest house slowly filled with life again, Grace cooking small meals, Lily visiting every evening to play with baby Noah, and Ethan often joining them after work. He found himself staying longer each night, drawn not just to Grace's kindness but to the way she looked at her son as though he was her entire world. It reminded Ethan of what he'd lost, but also what he could still find. One night, as the snow fell outside, Grace sat by the fire with Noah sleeping in her arms. Ethan walked in quietly, carrying a small bag. "What's this?" she asked. "Warm clothes," he said. "For both of you. And some formula. I hope that's okay." Her voice trembled. "You've already done too much." He shook his head. "No, Grace. I haven't done nearly enough." She looked at him then, not as the CEO on magazine covers, but as a man trying to rebuild something broken inside himself. "Why?" she whispered. "Why help us?" He hesitated before answering. "Because once, someone helped me when I had nothing left. My wife, she used to say that kindness isn't about what you give, but what you heal. Maybe this is my chance to heal something, too." Tears filled her eyes. "Thank you, Ethan. For everything." Months turned into seasons. Grace found work at a local community center, helping other struggling mothers. Ethan and Lily often visited, bringing food and supplies. Their lives slowly intertwined, not through obligation, but through love, respect, and shared compassion. Then one evening, as the sun set behind the city skyline, Ethan stood watching Grace read to the children at the center. Lily tugged at his sleeve again, the same way she had that first night. "Daddy," she said softly, smiling up at him. "We saved them, didn't we?" Ethan knelt beside her, his heart full. "No, sweetheart," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "They saved us." And as Grace turned, meeting his gaze across the room, both of them knew sometimes, the coldest nights lead you straight to the warmth you were meant to find all along.